what you state is fact, that Lieutenant Fanning had control over and access to.
Oh, boy.
Okay, we're already in for spanking. We're already in for spanking.
This jury.
How dare you, Mr. Jackson? How dare you?
That feels like the judge testifying right off the bat.
You can see where she's going with this already. Ipse dixit, because she said so.
Like, that's not how we do it around these here parts, Mr. Jackson, city slicker from LA.
I am going to ask you what your good faith basis is for that, and I'd like you to start there.
If the court...
It got so spicy that my feed got yeeted right out. That's wild.
You saying that Lieutenant Fanning has this is just not true. Okay, how is the defense supposed to know that? Right? Is she imputing knowledge on the defense? Is this something that she knows, obviously, because she works there and in that courthouse and is somewhat in control of that jury? Is she telling the defense that now? Interesting, just right off the bat.
Well, all right. So it's clear that what's going on right now is not the defense arguing its motion to dismiss, but the defense defending its statements in the motion to dismiss, that the judge is challenging them on the veracity of their statements, once again, giving rise to, is she still contemplating or now again recontemplating some sort of serious sanction?
Here's the thing. Judicial immunity is a thing. She has judicial immunity for the things that she does with her judicial discretion as a judge. She also happens to be the administrative justice of Norfolk Superior Court. Her administrative duties may not be protected by judicial immunity. And so if she did appoint Fanning, who has a clear conflict of interest because he is proctor supervisor, to oversee the jury, that may eliminate her judicial immunity because it's an administrative duty. Are you following? Her ass is on the line. Here we go.
So somebody reports to Fanning that a juror was overheard doing something. Fanning reported it to a court officer, and the court officer brought it to the court. And then that juror was dismissed. Okay. This is a game of telephone, and I understand the frustration of when you have links in that game of telephone who are involved in this case, it's a problem.
And then Fanning reports it to the court officer who reports it to the court.
That's just crazy.
It is not unreasonable to conclude that he was at least within the orbit of the security operations
at least
governing the jurors, which is exactly why we put it in our papers.
You were not, just so we're clear, you were not told that by me.
No, we were told that by, and I'm getting to that as well.
She's trying to insulate herself.
It's like, Judge, chill. Let me make my argument. Let me make my argument, Judge.
My question to the court is there evidence that he had absolutely no access, either direct
That's the point right there.
With any of the jurors? I don't
now
know
you know.
True. I mean, I take the court at its
because the Commonwealth says so.
So we will move on from that, Mr. Jackson.
This is insanity, folks. This is insanity. Fanning.
He shouldn't have been involved working on this case at all, period. And if he wasn't, we wouldn't have this issue. If this was John Smith, random Boston cop, we wouldn't be having this problem.
That he had absolutely no access.
There's no proof of that.
Jury.
I'm sorry.
What's the nature of...
I'm sorry. There's no proof of that. There's no sworn affidavit from anyone with actual knowledge, Your Honor, that he actually had no contact with the jury. There's no proof of that, Your Honor, other than you saying that he had no access to the jury. Are we just going to, like, the rules of evidence here are evaporating. They are exhausted. They don't exist anymore.
You want us to just believe them, Your Honor? Are you joking? Alessi spent 3 hours outlining everything Brennan said in court that was wrong. You want us to just believe them?
If you have a juror issue, put it on the record. What are you scared of? I don't understand what these people are scared of. And that's one of the biggest things that experienced criminal defense lawyers. I remember one of the first cases I ever tried with my dad. I was like, geez, Dad, you're really fighting with this judge about everything. And he's like, it's got to be on the record.
And yeah, the response, do I still know? There's no freaking evidence. That's a really important point because so much of what's happened has been the Commonwealth asserting things.
As local counsel.
They didn't. Brennan just says shit and doesn't file an affidavit. Why would we just take their word for it at this point? And I don't blame him.
This was the judge trying to strong arm him out of the argument of juror misconduct. And he's saying, I would like some record evidence because the judge telling me something. Are you taking judicial notice of this fact, judge? That's probably what I would have asked. Again, I'm Monday morning quarterbacking. But at the time, he would have said, are you taking judicial notice of that fact, judge, right now and putting it on the record? Because if you do, okay, then we'll have to abandon that. But if she's wrong and they find out later somehow, which again, then you create a burden for the defense to uncover things that seem impossible to uncover, that they wouldn't have found out if not for some good Samaritans and people speaking out. And yet that's the position she's putting him in, which is not a position a judge should put a lawyer in.
Go on with your argument.
Really?
Well, put it this way. Let's say it this way. So
Get Fanning in here and put him on the stand. How about
now
that?
that you know,
Bring Fanning in, put him under oath, and ask some questions. He doesn't want to move on. Let's get the answers. We don't have evidence of it. You know how we get evidence? Put somebody's ass in the seat, put them under oath, and ask them the questions. That's how you have evidence of it. Put them under oath and ask, but in the seat. Go full fucking Top Gun. I want somebody's butts. I want it now. That's it. Done. Solved. Nobody's word has to be taken. Put somebody under oath.
I will let you move on. I can tell you, I'm really not satisfied with your answer, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, whatever, Bev.
Well, put it this way. Let's say it this way. So
I am not satisfied. Okay, let's get the jurors in here like you should have done originally to call them back about their verdicts. And then let's put Fanning up there and find out. I am not satisfied.
Oh,
Jackson.
shit.
So it was this really big deal that she tried to press. And then right when they wanted to respond, they said no.
Oh,
I'm happy to, Your Honor, and thank you for giving me
you
the
know you're not going to be able to do
opportunity.
anything, so you're ready to move on now.
Ipse dixit.
Again, zealous advocacy. And I don't think Jackson gives a fuck if this judge hates him. This is not his jurisdiction. He doesn't have to practice here again. It should not harm his client, though at times it can. But I don't think he cares. He's like, no, I am not going to back down. If you would like me to be quieter, I will not be quieter.
Advocating for your client, drawing inferences from the evidence, that's permissible. It's not only permissible, it's your duty. It's your duty.
Yeah, please, Ms. Dianetti, please give him some more things to say because we are outraged.
yes.
Yannetti's like, we're going to need a moment. We're going to need a moment, Your Honor. I'm not surprised that Yannetti's like, can we please have a moment to confer with counsel?
It's like, and later on, by the way, Yannetti's like, that's not quite how I do not agree with you, Judge. She says Yannetti's going to back her up all the time. Like we both rep the same smart tech. And a lot of times Yannetti's like, no, not really, Judge. Not really. I don't know that to be true.
They are supposed to be, Judge. Now she's pointing at Yannetti because now she wants to get everybody off the case. You see what she's doing here, right? Do you see what she's doing?
Yannetti is like, okay, but there's more. Okay, but there's more.
Like, I mean, look, I'm not surprised that she's coming at him hard about the defense questioning whether or not they had cops lurking around. Like, the court's always going to take offense when you're impugning the integrity of the court, because make no mistake about it, that wouldn't be about the prosecution. They don't control the courtroom. The judge does. But like I was saying, here in Illinois, it's always court bailiffs always deal with the jurors. Now, Jackson's argument is, okay, I understand that you're saying that Fanning didn't directly deal with the jurors, but he was the commander of everybody.
She just really wants to get him for an ethical issue, doesn't she? She really wants to go for the throat and try to get something.
Wow, what a crap show. I mean, my God. Fanning had direct access to the jury, and Fanning is the one who got a juror removed? That is just ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Wow.
That is
Move on from
bullshit.
that. So